Hey Tuesdayers! I just got back from Insomnia i61 and I'm here to tell you all about it. Insomnia is a gaming festival built on a LAN party that started in 1999, and even though LAN parties are no longer necessary with high-speed internet, there is still a lot of fun. Insomnia is the biggest LAN party in the UK, so if that is your thing, then you should totally BYOC or bring your own computer or console and spend the weekend not sleeping but gaming, hence the name, Insomnia. People bring their massive computers and in trolleys and in wheelbarrows for tournaments and non-stop gaming with hundreds of friends. Isn't it wonderful when you find your tribe? Unfortunately, me and the fam are not hardcore enough to drag our gaming systems across the country and camp in a warehouse. But do not fear, those of us who are less hardcore can still enjoy the event that has grown up around this LAN party, with so many gamers in the same place. Game developers, computer builders, and all our favourite consoles would be mad not to be there. With all of the latest games and competitions. Xbox was conspicuously absent this time though. Where were you, Xbox? We missed you. But PlayStation and Nintendo were there, along with loads of other game studios and indie developers to show us what they can do. My favourite at these events is always the Indie Zone. It was great to check out some new games and see some old friends from Insomnia 60. One of the games I was most excited about last time was Tetra, and they were back with their game, which has changed a bit and looks even more awesome. One of the things I chatted about with these guys in the spring was the lack of chickens in their game, and guess what they have pecking about in the village? Chickens! Those are my chickens! They take requests very seriously, so feel free to tweet them all of your requests, and maybe next spring I'll be talking about your requested animal, along with the undead unicorns that I requested, of course. This game is going to be epic. It is set in a world inspired by elements, with islands that represent areas of the periodic table, but this is not an oversimplified educational game, and you won't need a science degree to play it. It's an adventure with landscapes and characters inspired by the elements. By the next time that we catch up with them, there will hopefully be a few more characters to play with, and at some point we plan to do a Tuesday Newsday feature with them too, I hope. Another really exciting game we found was not supposed to be there at all. Iron Sun Studios brought their game Iron Ball 3 to the event, but when they saw a spare space in the indie games area, they set up a laptop with another game that they're working on, and this is it. This crazy, beautiful underwater adventure looked like it was going to be abandoned after Bandai Namco decided to stop backing it, but its developers were not going to give up that easily, and are now working on smaller side projects to fund the game. So please look out for Iron Ball 3, because I really want to see more of this one called Fathom. They even have a 3D model of that little submarine, and the beginnings of a comic book about the characters inside it, so that's really cool. Perpetual Night also caught my eye. I love the crazy characters that you find inside this strange castle, with all of its mysterious light that changes your character gaze as she wanders deeper into the castle. It has a darkly comedic script that appeals to me, and if you love a good puzzle platformer, this is going to be one to look out for. If, however, you are looking for some mad multiplayer action and a good dose of zombies, then maybe Nature's Zombie Apocalypse is the game for you. You get to choose your spirit animal, load them up with unique and inventive weapons, and a fancy hat, of course, and then head to a classic landmark, Tower Bridge maybe? And then team up with 8 of your friends to fight the hordes of zombies. This is going to be a total must-have for a party. Another game that deserves a mention is Ferals. This super fun app sees you helping these cute little monkey things find their way back to their village. My son was so hooked and set the fastest time in their competition 2 days in a row. He can't help being awesome like his mum, and I'm sure this app is going to be one of these games that keeps you hooked. I cannot wait. Awesome! I didn't play the new Call of Duty World War II game because there was mostly a massive queue, but they did have soldiers guarding the queue who totally made me jump. I was trying to figure out if they were real and they jumped at me. It was terrifying. And they were reprimanding people for trying to wear a Super Mario cap into war. You need a helmet at least. That ridiculous cap won't save you in a war zone. Over at Rebellion, we played a game called Rogue Trooper because they wouldn't let me have a badge without playing. I didn't go into war without a bribe. It was probably because it was the end of a long day, but I found the whole experience pretty traumatic. You land on a planet, shoot at some aliens, and then pretty quickly your best friend dies, whom I had clearly become quite attached to. Thankfully, you're genetically modified super soldiers, so you can just rip a chip out of his neck and put it in your gun, and then he gets to live on and stay with you for the rest of the game. But after that, the killing all got a bit much for me. But don't let that put you off. I have been known to cry when playing Call of Duty. I'm a total wimp. The only sensible feedback I have is that there were a lot of cutscenes in this one, but if you like a shooty game, it may be your thing. And speaking of shooty, we played a VR game called Shooty Fruity. Some people can multitask, I cannot. And this is what happens when I try to scan items at a checkout, collect guns from above my head, and shoot the oncoming fruit as it comes bounding down the supermarket aisles towards me. The worst thing, of course, about VR is that there is always someone filming you and you always look stupid. So thanks for filming that one, Andy. And anyone who was a fan of Wipeout, well, this looks like Wipeout, it plays like Wipeout, it's from the makers of Wipeout, but it's called Formula Fusion! We had a go at Chill Blast competition, and if we could just top the leaderboard, we would have had a shiny new headset, but it wasn't to be. So we quit at 3rd place, which I think is quite respectable. But it's not all about the computer games. Who doesn't like a good board game? We had a great time playing various versions of Pandemic. I may need all of them. And we found this amazing Fallout board game. It really feels like looking inside the game and how it actually works. From now on, I will always imagine someone inside there throwing loads of coloured dice every time I shoot at something. It's a bit slower to calculate it yourself, but look how gorgeous that set is. And if you like a bit of model painting, you will love this game. I also discovered Time Stories, which is a narrative game. We travelled back in time to an asylum and had only just begun unravelling its mysteries when we ran out of time. No! The unsolved mysteries have haunted me to this day. What was that strange creature that I saw in the summer house? What did Dr. Hyacinth do with the disappearing patients? What was behind that trapdoor in the bandstand? I'm putting this game on my Amazon wishlist. Also, where there are gamers, there are cosplayers, and Insomnia was no exception. The cosplay area and the competitions were back after their absence at Insomnia 60. The Sith Assassin was a highlight of the cosplay competition for me. Check out those lightsaber skills. There were so many amazing costumes, and cosplayers creating new costumes and even printing 3D weapons. Even the process is a beautiful thing. And the celebrities, that special breed that we call YouTubers. Yogscast were there meeting the fans who were patient enough to wait, and Tom Syndicate and Mumbo Jumbo. He's so cool that he even gave the guys from Chill Blast a lift in his camper van. Apparently he's lovely. There were so many YouTubers, mostly I had no idea who they were though. Sorry. We can't forget the robots. Robot Wars has made a comeback in recent times, and it was great to see some of our favourites. They are massive though. In the battle arena, it was mini robots battling out and waging brutal robot war all weekend. And it's not just land robots either. There were drones racing all weekend too, and they were crazy fast. I can't even imagine how they managed to make it round that course so fast. We ended up coming home with a couple of drones of our own, so my life is now full of them buzzing around. And it wasn't only drones for sale either. Whether you wanted a computer upgrade, games, t-shirts, wigs, mystery boxes, there was something for everyone, and even some freebies. Logitech gave me this t-shirt. Thanks, Logitech. We also have a few games codes, so we will be playing some of them in the coming weeks. And if you were at Insomnia too, we would love to know what your favourite bits were. So please comment below. And if not, we will maybe see you at EGX next month. Maybe?
Mostly.
Let us know if you're coming. Also, if anyone wants this t-shirt, thanks Logitech, but it's a little big. So if you want it, just drop us a comment. Let us know how to contact you, and it's yours. Bye.
Okay, can you now do 4 different poses for thumbnails?
4 different poses? What kind of poses do you want?
Well, try and be an I for insomnia.
B and I.
Yeah, the letter I. Make the shape I.
I.
Okay, capital I.
How do... Nah.
Okay. Okay. Now stand a bit to your right. and show off the word insomnia.
You said to my right and I stepped left.
That's fine. That's my right. That's fine. So in between your hands, I'll make it straighter, close together. Yeah. So in between your arms, I will put the word insomnia.
Yay.
If it works. Yes.
And
okay. Step a bit further back so I can give more space.
This way?
Yep. A little bit forward because I can't see you now. Yeah. There. No. A little bit in between that. Stop. Yeah. There. Fantastic.
Awesome.